معرفة.
After the high school in my country, Bahrain, I was studying in the science section that time, and it was not the art or literature section, but the graduates of Bahrain, the top 30 graduates of the high school of Bahrain at those times, we didn't have lots of universities and high education facilities like we do, alhamdulillah, now. So the government used to send scholarship students outside. So I was one of the top 20 students in Bahrain, and I was eligible to study abroad. So and I was granted scholarship to go and read economics and finance. And I remember that was not a subject that I wanted, and I went to meet the minister that time, very nice gentleman from our royal family. His name was Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Muhammad Al Khalifa, rahimahullah. He passed away, and I told him that my intention is to study something else. He said, in the American curriculum and Canadian curriculum, because they were sending us to Canada, to McGill University in Montreal, you can take any major and then you put whatever you like as a minor, because they only require from you 38 or 40 credits in your major, and the rest you can do electives. And so he said, don't leave this opportunity, it's good for you, and we as a ministry, we will not mind that you study whatever you like. So I took his advice, which was a very sound and good advice, and I went to Canada, and we were, I think, the second group, a bunch of students, because in 1975 there was a war in Lebanon, and Bahrain used to send before that most of its students studying in American University of Beirut in Lebanon. But after the outbreak of war in 1975, some of the were taken to Houston and Austin, Texas, and some were brought to McGill in Montreal. And there was a professor in Montreal from Palestinian descent who used to live in Kuwait and had lots of contacts with the Gulf people. His name was Dr. Ahmed Abu Hakima, and he was very active in writing the history of the Gulf, and he was a personal friend of our minister. So our minister was asking him in some of the meetings, and he said, why do you concentrate the students only in one area? Bring some of them to our university. So through that personal contact, it happened that Bahraini students, many of them now they are in prominent positions and in the government and ministries and undersecretaries, and they went to that school. So it happened that I went there, and I was in the Faculty of Arts to study economics and business. However, as the minister advised me, I took most of my electives in religious studies, comparative religion. So I studied ancient religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, ancient Egyptian religions, Iraqi, Mesopotamian, Sumerian, Babylonian, and of course Judaism, Christianity, coming down to Islam, which McGill had a very good faculty and still does. It's the Institute of Islamic Studies, and one of the most prestigious North American schools in teaching academically and postgraduate studies in Islam. And so the library there was very rich. I benefited a lot from that library, and I still am very appreciative of that experience. And because I was an avid reader, I used to go at like 9 in the morning to the Library of Islamic Studies and then remain there till 9 in the evening. and sometimes even skipping my classes and reading in the library and writing. So, and also we got involved in the Islamic activity in the university. This first year when I went there, the like the president of the Muslim Society in Meghil had to leave and go back to Pakistan. He was a graduate student, and then there was nobody to take his position, so he said, you must be the leader of the Jum'ah prayer. So at that early age I was exposed to that, and our group which were with us, the Bahraini brothers, they were also very supportive, and we had our own activities and meetings. And later on we went to attend the Muslim Student Association, MSA in America, which later became ISNA, and the and other student gatherings, Arab and Muslim student gatherings there, and through them we met lots of scholars, and those days were very good days. All the scholars were welcome in America and all these places, not like today. There are visa restrictions and complications, and this is very unfortunate, because if you prohibit good scholars and moderate scholars and very well knowledge scholars who never go to the extremes, the extremes, you find it within many ignorant people. Most of them are not graduates even of Sharia colleges. So it is unfortunate that when you prevent such good scholarship, to advise young people, then you get situations like you have now, unfortunately. So that was the student life and student activity and there.
معرفة.